I'm 44 and my wife 39 have been married for 15 plus years, had stopped at 4 kids but we got a surprise baby due December. My wife hasn't been pregnant in 5 years so this was a big deal for her and me. So she's constantly talking about it, telling everyone, and that's fine. She's excited. But it becomes a problem when she brings it up in inappropriate situations. For example, a child in our town had unfortunately passed away in hit and run. And at the vigil my wife said something along the lines of, "I'm so thankful that our baby is okay. I couldn't live with myself if this vigil was for one of our children or the baby." I know for a fact that a few people heard her because they shot us a dirty look and scoffed. I love my wife, I do, but there are some things you don't freaking say, especially when a couple is mourning their dead child. But this post isn't about that situation, it's about something else entirely. My brother married a woman who immigrated from Iran a little over 8 years ago. She's a lovely woman and happy to be a part of the family. Now if any of you know about the protest in Iran you can get an idea on where this is going. My sister-in-law has been so anxious and having breakdowns because she hadn't been able to reach some of her family members. She has members of her family who have been protesting, female and male relatives. After the news of Sarina Esmailzadeh got to her, she deteriorated even more. She's been crying, not eating, no showers, etc. She cut off all her hair to show support, but my sister-in-law just really needs to see that her family is okay. My wife and I went over there. We brought some meals, and my brother and I were going to give the ladies a spa day. In the middle of eating, my sister-in-law begins to cry silently, and while my brother is consoling her, my wife goes in to say this, "Sister-in-law, I know how you are feeling. This pregnancy has been hard, it's hard to eat, and I cry that something might go wrong because of my age. But both of us will make it through this. Now let's go to the salon and do something about that hair." My wife had a genuine smile on her face. My sister-in-law began to cry even harder. I said sorry to them, ushered my wife out of their house, and got into the car fuming. My wife noticed I was upset and asked why, and I said, "Stop making everything about you and this pregnancy." Sister-in-law is having night terrors because of what's happening in her country, worried sick that her own family members may possibly die for protesting. Yet you go and compare her issue and your pregnancy together. My wife tried to explain her reasoning, saying she was just trying to make her feel better. How the hell was commenting on her hair and comparing your pregnancy to the protest in Iran going to make her feel better? My wife continued to say she did nothing wrong, but there is a time and a place for everything. My wife took off to her parents and I've been getting calls left and right from my in-laws for not caring about my wife's pregnancy. Am I the asshole? I didn't think I'd come back to this website. I read many of your comments and took all the advice. Sit down, talk with her, get her point of view, maybe get her evaluated, and go back to how we were. Well, that's not happening. Found out some devastating news from our 14-year-old, and I'm debating on whether I should keep fighting for this marriage. She cheated on me. My wife, my partner in crime, my best friend, the fucking mother of my kids. And now I'm even unsure if they're my kids. I haven't told my wife that I know about her affair. And frankly, I don't want to. I've been with her for so long that I don't know if I can live without her. I don't know how long she and this guy have been meeting up. I hope it's only been a couple of times, because that'll be easier to get over. I'm trying to keep myself together for my 14-year-old, but it's hard. Whenever I get a chance by myself, I have a breakdown. I don't get what I did to cause her to do this. I thought I was a good husband, a good father, and a good friend. Turns out I may have been shit. I found out about the affair a couple days ago from my 14-year-old. I've reassured her nothing's wrong, and I'll have me and her mother explain it. I'm thinking about just telling her that me and her mom have an open relationship to keep this under wraps, to just make it not look she cheated on me. I've just been going through the motions. My wife, she's still at her parents'. She's still barely talking to me. Now I know why. Maybe if I tell her I know about her affair she'll end it and come back home. We have a good life together, we're good together. I feel like I'm rambling. If this was my brother and I found out his wife cheated on him and he was talking like how I am now, I'd grab him by the collar and set him straight. I've watched films of this stuff, heard about it, and even watched shows where the couple talks about how they get past infidelities. I would think, they're so stupid, just get divorced. I'd never forgive my wife if she cheated on me. But now I'm in the same shoes and I sound just like them. From what I've seen so far, it was just emotional and nudes. But my daughter had taken plenty of pictures and I've only seen about 4 so far. There's at least 30. I feel that if I go through the rest of these photos, it'll confirm that she may have been having this affair for a long time. My daughters might not even be my kids. If I go public with this, it won't just turn my world upside down. It'll affect my daughters too. I don't want to hurt them like that. I only eat when my daughter's around me to keep up the facade that everything's fine. But when she's away, I'm throwing up and shaking. This isn't just some high school relationship. This the woman I've built a life with. I know what I should do, but I don't want to. Over the last few days, I've realized how much my life circles around my wife and kids. If I dig any further into this, I just might break. If you've been married, are married, in a long-term relationship with kids and a home, how do you get past this? Do I just quietly confront her and do marriage counseling? Or do I just keep this from her and get her to come back home and act as if I know nothing about this? I recently found out my wife, who is due in December, has been cheating on me. The person who found out about the affair is my 14-year-old. It's been a couple of days, but I'm still reeling from all of this. I finally went through the evidence, and the affair has been going on for at least 4+ years. I haven't told my wife I know about her affair, but I plan on doing it soon, possibly after the baby is born. While it may not be my child, I still have so much love for this woman I don't want to cause any harm. I know that I should probably start looking into a solicitor, separating our finances, and collecting even more evidence. But I stupidly want to try and fix this, or at least not hate and love her at the same time. I planned on lying to my daughter to cover up for her mother, but my daughter is a smart cookie. There's no way she'd actually believe it. How do I navigate my way through something like this? I don't want to be filled with hatred and let our kids see it. Once I initiate this divorce, all of ours will turn upside down. I just don't want this to ruin our kids. If I do a DNA test on the girls, I know it would probably hurt them. We have 4 kids, all girls, 14, 10, 5 and 5. There's a slight chance the twins may not be my children. Just typing this makes my head hurt. I've been calling out of work, but I need to get my head on straight. Post was removed. I've confronted my wife. She was remorseful, but she doesn't regret it. She loves him. Her parents knew about the affair. They discovered it long before I did. They had been helping them by having my wife and her affair partner meet at their home. Why were her parents helping her instead of being decent people? They didn't want to risk being humiliated. Her parents, basically entire family, is heavily involved in the church in our town. Also didn't want to separate the twins from their real dad. 14-year-old and 10-year-old are staying with my brother and sister-in-law. I don't have the strength to be able to take care of them right now. They hate their mother and refuse to speak to her. They're both in therapy. I am too. I tried to take the twins so they could be with their sisters, but my wife put up plenty of resistance. She was begging me. I'm positive AP is with her at the moment. Seen his car heading towards my in-laws' house as I left. AP was also married. I've been in contact with his wife and she says she's filing for divorce. I haven't asked her if AP has tried to work things out, and frankly I don't care. Fuck him. Fuck my wife. Fuck my stupid in-laws. I always thought in-laws were uptight assholes anyways. I'm glad they're all being ostracized. Mother-in-law and father-in-law have been kicked out the church, and from the looks of the church's social media page, they deleted anything related to them. I'm glad they're being humiliated. The one thing they feared the fucking most is happening. Mother-in-law called me crying, wanting me to clear the situation up. What is there to clear up? Father-in-law wanted me to work things out, but I simply asked if it was him in this situation would be working things out. He answered with silence before hanging up. Wife has been trying to reach out to me. I refuse to answer her. I get just a tiny bit happy seeing how frantic she is to contact me. I don't know what she wants, and I don't want to speak to her anytime soon. I know I'll eventually have to. Before I got the results, I was ready to take her to court and get custody of the twins. I'm pathetic. Going to work is a struggle. My coworkers look at me with pity. I don't even grocery shop anymore. I can feel everyone looking and whispering. I've lost about 15 pounds since this whole thing came to light. I barely get any sleep. Therapy is not helping. This has been the worst year of my life. I wish I had kept my mouth shut in the car a few months ago. If I had, then I'd be enjoying time with the newborn and decorating the house. The house is silent. It should be loud with my daughters laughing or arguing. I should be changing a diaper. I should be hearing my wife try to outperform Mariah Carey. The house should smell sweet and be warm. Dirty diapers should be in a trash bag waiting to be thrown out. I should be smiling and laughing. This house should be filled with happiness and life. Now it's just cold, empty and quiet. Everything I did was for nothing. I had a sad childhood. I wanted a happy adulthood. I can't ever seem to fucking win. I always lose. I don't feel like a man. I don't even feel human.